The Lioness of Lekki, City of Crime Part 4. A fight for justice and survival. The city of Lekki was alive beneath the dark, starless sky. The hum of traffic, the distant wail of sirens, the occasional burst of laughter from neon-lit streets below, it was all part of the urban jungle. But up here, standing atop a looming skyscraper, the air was different. Thinner, colder, dangerous. Welcome to Storytime Africa. If you love gripping tales of power, justice, and the fight for truth, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more thrilling African stories. Now, let's dive back into this electrifying moment. A single flickering street lamp cast long shadows across the rooftop. Nena stood at the edge, the city stretching endlessly below her. Her black leather jacket flared slightly in the wind, her breath steady but shallow. Across from her stood Okonkwo, his towering frame bathed in dim moonlight. His suit, dark and crisp, seemed too polished for a man whose hands were stained with unseen crimes. Between them, the battle had already begun, not with fists, not with weapons, but with silence. A silence thick with history, betrayal, and the unspoken truths neither was ready to acknowledge. Okonkwo, smirking, voice low, "You always did like the dramatics, Nena." Nena, steadily, "And you always did like being on the wrong side of history." He chuckled, the sound deep and humorless. The wind howled around them, rattling a loose metal sheet somewhere in the distance. The city may have been alive, but up here, it was just the two of them. Predator and prey. Hunter and hunted. Nena's fingers closed around the small flash drive in her pocket. It was warm from the heat of her palm, a tiny object that carried the weight of an empire's downfall. Corruption, bribery, human trafficking, stolen wealth, it was all in there, evidence against the most powerful men in Lekki. And Okonkwo knew it. Okonkwo, softly, almost amused, "You think you're the first to try this, Nena? You think no one has ever stood on this same ledge, holding evidence that could bring men like me to their knees?" She didn't flinch. Instead, she took a step closer, the click of her heels against the concrete echoing like gunfire. "Nena, I don't think, Okonkwo. I know. And I know that this time, it's different." He studied her, his gaze as unreadable as the abyss below them. Then, with a slow, deliberate motion, he reached into his pocket and pulled out his own flash drive. He held it up between his fingers, the small device gleaming under the rooftop's flickering light. "Okonkwo, you were always so smart. But did you really think I wouldn't have something on you too?" For the first time, a flicker of doubt crossed her face. Not fear. Nena didn't know fear, but caution. He saw it. And he thrived on it. "Okonkwo, I have files, recordings, messages. Everything you've done, every deal you've made, every corner you've cut in your so-called righteous war. You think your hands are clean? You think you're the lioness and I'm the prey? No, Nena. We are the same." The wind whipped around them, carrying his words like daggers through the air. Nena's grip on the flash drive tightened, her nails pressing into her palm. Nena, whispering, "We are nothing alike." He stepped closer, his presence suffocating. "Okonkwo, aren't we? You fight, I fight. You lie, I lie. You manipulate, I manipulate. You call yourself a hero, but let's be honest, heroes don't last long in this city." The words stung more than she expected, because some of it was true. A sudden gust of wind roared through the rooftop, carrying with it the distant sound of police sirens. It was a reminder. Time was running out. Nena exhaled slowly, a slow, knowing smile creeping onto her lips. "Nena, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm not a hero. But the difference between us, Okonkwo, is that I don't plan to lose." And then, without warning, she lunged. The world tilted. The rooftop became a blur of motion, of shadows colliding and bodies twisting. Okonkwo's grip was iron, but Nena was faster. She pivoted, using his own weight against him, twisting his arm and shoving him backward. He stumbled, cursing, but recovered quickly. Okonkwo, gritted teeth, You don't know when to quit. Nena, breathless, and you don't know when you've lost. She feinted left, then struck right, her fist colliding with his jaw. He staggered, blinking stars from his vision. But she wasn't done. She grabbed the flash drive from his hand and, before he could react, hurled it into the wind. The tiny device disappeared into the night, swallowed by the endless city below. Okonkwo's expression darkened. Okonkwo, low, dangerous, that was a mistake. Nena wiped her lip, where a trickle of blood had appeared. Then she smiled. Nena, no. That was checkmate. A sudden burst of light illuminated the rooftop headlights from the parking lot below. The sound of rushing footsteps echoed up the stairwell. Sirens wailed closer. Okonkwo's eyes darted to the exit. He was calculating, thinking, plotting his escape. But Nena had already won. She stepped forward, standing over him as he kneeled, catching his breath. Nena, whispering, "Run, Okonkwo. Run while you can. Because tonight, the lioness doesn't sleep." He hesitated. Then, without another word, he turned and disappeared into the shadows. The sirens grew louder. Police officers stormed the rooftop, guns raised, but Nena stood motionless, watching the city. She reached into her jacket and pulled out another flash drive, the real one. The one with all the evidence. The one that would bring it all crashing down. She exhaled, her grip firm. Tonight, the lioness had won. But the jungle never sleeps. And neither would she. In the days that followed, the city erupted with scandal. Corruption rings were exposed, criminals arrested. The fight was far from over, but it had begun. And at the center of it all was Nena, the woman who refused to kneel. The woman who roared. Thank you for watching this thrilling tale of justice and power. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Storytime Africa for more gripping African folktales and urban legends. What do you think will happen next? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.